Well, if we were to take a look at the last couple of months from a real estate statistic point of view, interesting is kind of like the tip of the iceberg. My name is Taylor, this is HACK&Co at RE/MAX River City, and as we go through June, there's actually a lot more promising information as we see what type of activity is available in the post-COVID Edmonton market. We're recapping everything here so that we can basically take statistics and turn them into stories. This is a very easy, in-depth view of real estate in Edmonton. I hope you're doing awesome. Cheers.
What has been heating up for the month of May? I'm Kim Christensen with HACK&Co at RE/MAX River City. Well, I can tell you that the market sure has been heating up for the month of May, and we are up 54.27% from April. A total of 612 properties in Edmonton were sold in the month of May, and the hottest price range that properties sold in May for Edmonton was $330 to $335. If you have any questions about the market, or if you're a buyer wanting to buy or a seller wanting to sell, it's a great time to do so. So connect with your realtor as we can help you through the way. Have a great day. What's been cold for the month of May? I'm Kim Christensen with HACK&Co at RE/MAX River City. As we continue to monitor the market on a daily and monthly basis, we are watching the condo market closely. For the month of May in Edmonton, the total condo properties that were sold were 200. That's down from last year in Edmonton. In the month of May, there was a total of 392 condo properties sold. If you have a condo and wanting to bring it to the market, please connect with your realtor as we can help you navigate the market, price that condo aggressively to step in front of the crowd. If you already have a condo on the market, make sure that you're making your price improvements so you can step in front of the crowd and try to get that property sold as fast as you can. If you have any questions at all about condos or any other property, we're always here to help. Have a nice day.
Months of inventory. It's the relationship of buyers and sellers, or in market terms, supply and demand. My name is Taylor, this is HACK&Co at RE/MAX River City, and it's always important to know exactly who has the advantage and how you should play, and this is what gives you that indicator. So if it was a balanced market, when the average buyer and seller met, if they didn't come to an agreement, both of them would be okay with that. The seller would be like, you know what, there's going to be another buyer, and the buyer would be like, no big deal, I'll go find another house. However, now we're at like 6.7 months of inventory, which is a significant buyer's advantage. And that means that a buyer in a negotiation may be comfortable that they can go find another property and get another opportunity similar to this one for about the same price. However, a seller may not get a similar offer, and if time goes by and the market sides continually, the offers coming in the future might be even lower. So that's what we mean by buyer's advantage. The buyer has options that the seller may not have. What's happening as far as a trend? Well, this is actually getting better for those sellers that may be concerned. Last month during emergency shutdown, as listings started coming to the market, buyers weren't active yet, so we almost hit 10 months of inventory, and now we're back at 6.7, and really, when we take a look at a couple of months ago, we were at 6.2, and we'd like to see this number climb more towards 4. So buyers know that you're in the advantage, and your biggest risk is that you overpay, so make sure that you get everything price checked. And sellers understand that buyers have the advantage, and your advantage is primarily if you're upgrading. So those clients in the market, those families with kids that are looking for more space and more stuff, the idea would be is that if a market's moving down, you might take a loss on the place that you're selling, but the people that are selling the upgraded house to you are taking even more loss. And so moving up and down markets is what we'd like to see every family do as part of handling family business. If you want any more information, you can easily contact us, and we can use measurements like months of inventory to help you win in the marketplace, like we've helped hundreds and hundreds of families. My name is Taylor, this is HACK&Co at RE/MAX River City, and I hope you're doing awesome. Cheers.
How long does it take to sell real estate in today's market? My name is Anthony with HACK&Co at RE/MAX River City, and when we talk about how long it takes to sell properties in any market, we always look at days on market. And days on market starts when a new home comes to the market on day 0 and ends when the clock runs out once the property sells or expires. So when we're looking at, kind of year over year as a trend and the 3-month trends, what we're seeing here is that days on market is actually stretched out a bit. So, month over month, we were at 54 days on market for single family homes. Last month, we were at 58, and now we're sitting at 60. for all residential overall, it was 60 and then 64, and now it's at 66. So things are just taking a little bit longer to leave the market with a buyer. And sometimes we see this. And right now, obviously, this has been the largest impact we've ever seen in real estate, especially in the last couple of years. And right now there's a lot of uncertainty out there. And I think things are just taking a little bit longer. Maybe people are opting for longer condition days if they're not fully ready. We're still moving along at the current pace that we'd always recommend, but I think overall it's just a bit slower. When we look at a year over year trend, at this time last year, all residential was at about 60 days on market. Currently it's at 66, but we're seeing the largest gap in condos. It is taking far longer to sell condo or duplex or townhouse style condo right now, and we're going to talk a little bit about that next. So 53 days on market for single family homes at this time last year. Currently it's at 60, right? 69 to 70 days on market for condo, duplex, and townhouses. And this year at this time now it's at 77 for condos and 63 for duplexes and townhomes. So things are just taking a lot longer, and condos are definitely the largest affected in this space. What we're going to say for buyers right now in this market is just be ready. Make sure you understand all the new rules that are changing. Just yesterday, they released some new information, so make sure you're talking to your lender. We have lots of great lenders. If you'd like, we could definitely connect you, but make sure that you're definitely using the pro tools, meaning that you have a search that's custom tailored just to you, so that you can know when any price improvements happen, when people are dropping prices, or when there's new listings that meet your search criteria. Because if you can pounce on these as soon as possible, what we're seeing is properties that are priced right will often end up in multiple offers. And then those properties are off the market, in 14 to 20 days based on just what we know with the typical cadence in those. And then if you're a seller in today's market, make sure your home is ready. Have it show ready, get good photos, have all the marketing like our team provides. Just make sure that you're priced effectively and that you understand how buyers are searching. Everybody's looking in 25,000 increments. So if you could price your property effectively and not overprice it, because everybody out there is working with someone that they believe knows the market. And it's important to know that if you're sitting on the market and you're overpriced, you're likely going to be there for a long time. If you can be priced effectively so that people actually want to come see your property, what's going to happen is you either get all the money or pretty darn close. So if you have any questions about this, please reach out. Cheers.
A lot of people think when we're talking average price, we're actually talking what the average property is worth. My name is Taylor. This is HACK&Co at RE/MAX River City, and we're actually normally talking about appetite in a market where there's less buyers than sellers. So taking a look at what's been happening recently, what I can tell you is that average price for all the residential real estate in the greater Edmonton area is about $347,000. And that means that single family detached is a little more than that, up at $387,000, and condos average price is around $188,000. When you're looking at duplexes and row housing, that's going to be about the $320,000, just to give you some reference points. Over the last few months, we've seen this bounce. It was actually significantly lower about 60 days from now, when we were in the grips of emergency shutdown related to COVID-19. And now we're starting to see all of the property groups kind of shift. And what we're noticing more than anything else would be fragmentation among these markets. So what we can tell you is single family detached properties are moving up, even though duplex, row housing, and apartment style condos are moving down. And that could be related to the disparity among the people that are the most challenged at the lower income levels. If they've had CERB payments going into their accounts, we find that mortgage finance companies aren't lending to them as readily. So these things are going to show up in average price, but the idea is to decode this and see how it should change the way you play. So for example, if you were a buyer to the challenged groups, what you should be looking at doing is targeting those that are telling you they want more certainty than money. That's where you're going to get the best deals. So taking a look at properties that maybe have reduced in price recently, or showing a trend of reductions, or even that have made substantial price reductions during emergency shutdown, is the way that we're kind of smelling those opportunities out for the buyers working with us. And if you're a seller, the idea is just to keep your eye on the market, take a good look at what opportunity looks like around you. And if we are expecting the market to slide over the next few months as unemployment numbers rise, the idea would be to head it off at the pass. So to set that enticing list price that might be a little bit painful now, but that means that you may not have to take tomorrow's offer, which could be even a little bit more painful. So that's the idea behind average price. It looks like we're on a little bit of a bounce here and we're going to take a rally. We're seeing more activity in June so far than anything that we saw in early May. And this is actually going to get exciting. I think the summer market is going to be more exciting this year than the spring market is in most years. So I'm excited to see what's next. And that was Taylor, and this is HACK&Co at RE/MAX River City related to average price. Cheers.
So what are the chances that you're going to sell a home in this market? My name is Anthony with HACK&Co at RE/MAX River City, and how we measure this is by sales to new listing ratio. What we can tell over the last couple of months is that things are moving slowly down, unless you're a condo and then you're moving about 10% down, which is kind of crazy, but let's dig into that a little bit more. So single family homes are down 1% over last month and 2% over the month before. About 10% overall, which means it's going to be slightly harder to sell all the stuff that's on the market right now. But condos are down 7% over last month, 5% over the month before, and they're down 22% overall, which means they're sitting at about 25%. This is interesting to us because it's saying that there's about one buyer for every 4 or 5 sellers, but we're seeing this as this could be actually way worse. We could be, talking to anybody that's planning on listing their condo and expecting that it could be about 1 to 2 buyers for every, 6 or 7, maybe even 8 sellers. So as this continues to move down, we're going to be paying really close attention to this. But duplexes are actually up over the last couple of months, but down 7% since last year. Overall, we are down 14%. Where we used to see, 2 listings come on the market and 1 would find a buyer. Now we're thinking it's more 1 for 3, and we have the data to prove it. So how does this affect you if you're a buyer in today's market? Well, you really need to have someone like us on your side to make sure you can manage and see the listings and actually find out where people are buying them so that you can safeguard yourself from overpaying. If you're a seller in today's market, you need to look at the same information, but you have to have someone looking at this from a different lens. You need to be super aggressive in terms of what else is out there in your demographic, and you need to be able to measure and manage. This is something we talk about all the time, but it's really important because if you overlist your property, it's going to sit around for a long time. And as soon as people see that days on market creeping up, it might be too late. So get an expert on your side, make sure you've got all the stats and that you have access to this. We actually do listing updates, which is really cool for all of our sellers because we want them to be in the game with us. If you'd like more information, reach out. Cheers.
Here at HACK&Co, we are dedicated to helping the families that we serve measure and then manage so that they have better outcomes in real estate. I'm proud to be the team leader of the top team at RE/MAX River City and the most trusted team in Greater Edmonton area real estate from verified reviews on rankmyagent.com. If you want more information like this, you should hang out with us. You can subscribe here, find us on Facebook, or easily contact us so that you can get some perspective on your situation. Until next time, hope you're doing awesome. Cheers.